established rich coming right back at you. This one right here is about business, but not just business on paper. This is about value that cannot always be measured by numbers. We're talking about Boosie, DJ Vlad, and Akademiks. And what this situation really represents is a clash between loyalty and analytics. And when those two things collide, you start seeing how the industry really thinks about people once the numbers shift. Now let's start with the business side first, because that's where Akademiks comes in. His position is pretty straightforward, which is that if the views are declining, then the pay can't increase.
I remember every 4 or 5 interviews, we'd see a Boosie clip. These days, Vlad has about 20 repeating guests. Back when Boosie was he was the workhorse. Now, I'm not saying that to, whatever, but he was, when you thought about Vlad's channel, you were like, oh, Boosie. Back then, by the way, this is the same thing with Drake and streaming, except Drake is still Drake. Boosie was pretty much the Kobe of the platform, and now the platform got mad at the options. They're not going to compensate you with back pay for like what you've done. You should have negotiated back then. They're going to compensate you for how you fit into this market, which usually a lot of people don't like. They're like, bro, I helped build it. Those arguments always exist. The problem here is with people who they're a talent, but they don't understand how networks and platforms work. You got to understand, if you're building something, you need to negotiate up front. Okay? If someone brings you on their channel and their channel got 50 viewers, or no one's them, and you're going to change the whole trajectory of their channel by extending your brand, extending your likeness, doing what Jay-Z does, except he charges an arm and a leg to do it when he says, I'm going to bring my cultural currency. And that's what Boosie did. And in some of the things where, I'm glad Vlad actually spoke about this stuff now. So when I was saying, whatever, about $5,000, people were like, damn, I knew Boosie was getting $25,000. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I'm not the person that says Boosie don't deserve it. Here's my thing. I think what Boosie should have done from a long time ago is realizing that you the only that's really getting shit popping on Vlad TV, and your nature, your business with Vlad TV was supposed to be different. Boosie didn't do that. Boosie took a check, and that check was lucrative. Getting paid $25,000 to sit down for 2 hours, I think that's okay. But here's the problem. Boosie's now in a place where he's arguing and he's debating against himself. Unless he becomes a caricature of himself, his views are never going to be what it used to be. I keep telling y'all, Vlad does a formula that your biggest views are usually going to be your first.
Now, after hearing that, you can't even say he's wrong from a business standpoint. Because if you look at this like a company and you look at profit and loss, then everything he said makes sense. If a product is not producing the same returns, then you don't pay more for the product. That is basic business. And that is how most companies operate, whether people like it or not. And Vlad is looking at it the same way, because he has expenses, he has staff, he has production costs, and he has to make sure the platform stays profitable. So from that side of the table, this decision is business, not personal. But here's where the conversation starts to shift, because Boosie is not looking at himself like a product. He is looking at this situation like a partnership. And that is a completely different way of viewing the same situation. Boosie is not saying pay me more because of what I'm doing today. He is saying pay me more because of what I helped you build. And that right there is the part most people keep skipping over. Boosie was not just a guest on Vlad TV. He was a foundation piece. He was one of the main reasons people started taking Vlad seriously in hip-hop spaces. He was defending Vlad when people was calling him a snitch. He was sitting down doing interviews when other artists wouldn't even touch that platform. And that type of loyalty has value even if you can't put it on a spreadsheet. Because let's be real about something. A lot of the traffic that Vlad built was built on moments Boosie created. A lot of the viral clips came from Boosie speaking freely and unfiltered. And that type of energy brought people back over and over again. How many new subscribers did Vlad gain off Boosie? So from Boosie's perspective, he is not asking for a raise. He is asking for recognition. Now let's shift to the second part of this, because this is where the emotions come in.
DJ Akademiks. You know you're in Vlad like this, nigga. You already know that. Anything I got going on when I come on social media, you go against. Whatever it is with Boosie, you go against, nigga. You trying to be a silent assassin to me, nigga, but it's all good, man. You're a podcaster. And that's your dog, so you supposed to roll with your dog. I get it. I get it. Bruh, motherfucker, get the love I get, bro. I'm telling you. They like, how we gonna stop this nigga? Like, bruh, like, you can get 5, 6 of them all together and they just can't stop this, bro. Like, and I thought about it like, all of my, it's mad cause the love I get, like, and don't nobody love them. I think about everybody. Nobody got nothing good to say about none of them, bro. I just saw 6ix9ine say some DJ Akademiks, like, bro, like, don't nobody got nothing to say about these dudes, bro. Like, don't nobody love them, bro.
Now listen to that response carefully, because that ain't just a business response. That's a personal one. That's somebody who feels like their contribution is being reduced to numbers. And this is where Boosie brings up something that can't be ignored. The love he gets from his fans. Because Boosie is not a social media creation. Boosie is a pre-internet artist who built his fan base over decades. We talking about somebody who has been relevant since the 90s. And if you understand that, then you understand how rare that type of loyalty is. That type of fan base don't come from viral moments. That type of fan base comes from years of music, years of struggle, and years of people feeling like they know you. And that is something that can't be measured by monthly views or algorithm. Now, here's the real question that this whole situation brings up. Does long-term loyalty still matter in today's industry? Or has everything been reduced to what you did last week? Because that is what this really comes down to. What have you done for me lately? And that mentality is everywhere now. Nobody cares how long you've been solid. If the numbers today don't match what they expect, you can give somebody 20 years of consistency. But if the last year don't look right, they're going to start questioning your value. And that is a hard reality for a lot of people who built their careers before the digital age. Because back then, value was measured over time, not measured in real time. Now let's talk about Akademiks for a second. Akademiks is not wrong for defending Vlad. That's his peer. That's the person that's in his lane. But at the same time, he is looking at this strictly through a data lens. And data does not account for emotional equity. Data does not account for who held you down when nobody else would. Data does not account for who helped you gain credibility in a culture that did not trust you. And that's why this conversation feels lopsided to me. Because one side is talking numbers and the other side is talking history. And both sides are right in their own way. But here's the problem. When business only listens to numbers, it starts forgetting the people. And when people feel forgotten, they start speaking up. And that's what you're seeing right now from Boosie. Now, let me say this part clear. I don't think this is about jealousy from Akademiks, but I do think there are people in this space who don't understand the type of love Boosie gets, because that love was built before streaming. That love was built before social media. And when you don't come from that era, it's hard to measure something you've never experienced. Now I'ma land right here. This is what happens when two different eras collide. The old way of building value and the new way of measuring value. One is based on loyalty and impact. The other is based on data and performance. And until those two things find balance, you're going to keep seeing situations like this play out, because everybody wants to be paid for what they built. But companies only want to pay for what they see right now. And that's where the gap is. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.